Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Sondering Tarot. This is your March 2024 Deck Strength versus Weakness series, and our featured deck of the month, as voted on by my subscribers, is the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson, also illustrated by Julia Dillon. So please excuse me while I zoom us on in so we can see these cards a little bit clearer. Hopefully no one got too dizzy with that. And for those of you that are new to this series, we're going to cover the strength and weakness of the deck, the job it has in my collection, other decks that can do the same thing, and well, whether or not this deck is worth purchasing. Okay. Now, this particular deck, of course, is mermaid themed. It is a water deck. The strength of this deck is manifestation or energy, which is very nice, very useful to have, in my personal opinion. Now, is this the only deck that I have with this particular strength? No, it is not. In fact, I will show you a different one that has the exact same strength. This is also a deck by Lisa Robertson. This is the Soul Cats Tarot. And if you've been on my channel before, you've probably seen me use this deck if you've been here for any period of time. It also has the strength of manifestation or energy. Now back to our Mermaid Tarot. When it comes to the weakness of this particular deck, it's actually the higher self. Now this is a water deck, and therefore, you know, divine feminine based for the most part. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that connecting to your higher self is a strong suit of the deck. That is actually separate. Your gut, your intuition, your nurturing side, your emotions. Yes, this is all still very strong as a divine feminine in this particular deck. However, when it comes to your higher self or connecting with your higher self, this is where the deck falls short. That is the weakness. Now, I do have a deck in my collection that makes up for that fact. Why? Because it has the strength of higher self. So, and some of you might actually recognize the backings of this particular deck. This is the Tarot of the Mystical Moments. Katrin Wellstein, I do believe, is the author of this particular deck. But in my collection, this is one of the decks I can grab as a fill gap if I'm wanting to utilize the Mermaid Tarot, but I need to answer questions about the higher self. This is one of those decks that's a possibility to use as a fill gap to get those questions answered. It makes up for the weakness of the other deck. Okay, now when it comes to actually utilizing the Mermaid Tarot in my collection, it does have a job. The job of this particular deck is to tell me where the energy is, but also to tell me where the energy isn't. And depending on what I'm needing or what I'm after, depends on which aspect it gives me of where the energy is or where it's absent. Both are vital, both are useful, and sometimes in readings I do end up getting both. And this is not the only deck that will tell me where the energy is or isn't in my entire collection. In fact, I've got several decks that have that particular job, that particular function in my collection. In fact, I did show you one already, and it was the Soul Cats Tarot. It has the exact same function in my collection, which is quite interesting. It has the same strength, it has the same job. I'm not saying that the weaknesses are necessarily the same between the two decks, but if I need something to pair with the Mermaid Tarot and it doesn't pair, but I'm after that particular job, that particular function. This is another deck I can pick up and utilize that may actually pair with the deck I'm looking to pair with. All right, and apologies, I'm going to go ahead and zoom us back out. Because now we're going to get into our packaging, whether or not this deck is worth it. It is a mass market. It is actually published by Llewellyn. The retail price on the box is $29.99, so I mean, it's fairly cheap, inexpensive, very easy to find. It comes in the standard magnetic hard box that we all know and love, with the ribbon to easily get the deck out. Our lovely guidebook here is quite thick. It's about, you know, the width of my pinky, so about 1/4 of an inch thick. And it is full color. The entire book is full color, and it's nice because we get an introduction, we get how to use the deck, how to conduct a reading, we get a notes section, we get the major arcanas, and whether it's a major arcana or a minor arcana, this whole one side is what the card looks like. You can easily tell what that full card looks like, even on camera. I don't even have to hold this up, and it's because of how much real estate you get. And then you get the upright reversal meanings over here. Same with the minors. It goes throughout the whole entire deck, and in the back we get some spells, we get some spreads, and we get several pages or more notes. So it's a fairly decent guidebook, very substantial. Of course, this is the standard Llewellyn cardstock, which is actually pretty decent. The only problem is the glare, which you can probably see that on camera, that there is a big shiny glare on the card. Not always easy to film, so that might be a downside. The deck is on edge. You may or may not think that is a good thing. It is a mermaid themed deck, so if you like mermaids, things about the sea, things about ocean, you probably will like this deck. If that is not your stick, then maybe this is not the deck for you. So overall, it's a mass market deck. It's very easy to find. It's not that expensive. It's put together well. Most Llewellyn decks are when they are printed. I would have to say that this deck is worth purchasing. I mean, you can agree to disagree on me on that if you don't like the high gloss or you're not liking the mermaid theme. And I'd be curious to know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Don't be shy. And as always, I'm going to go ahead and stop here for our part 1 of the deck of the month. Please be aware, if you're not familiar with my deck strength versus weakness series, this is a 5-part series. This is part 1. Parts 2 through 5 will be pairs, both perfect pairs, both anti-pairs, tarot, and oracle. So the next video will be a perfect pair tarot video, followed by a perfect pair oracle, and then we will do the same thing for the anti-pairs. So please be on the lookout for the appropriate section. I do also have playlists for perfect pairs and anti-pairs, as well as the deck of the month, so you can break it down and find previous months, as well as just individual sections you are looking for. Alright, my lovelies, I hope you enjoyed part 1, and I hope to see you in part 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you there. Bye.